Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanderson. We are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Friday, February 4th slate of NBA games. It's payday, everyone, so let's go ahead and win even more money from these books. I'm super excited to hop into it, but first we always got to do a quick recap. So we ended up with another 2-in-1 day, so another pretty profitable day. I'll definitely take that any day of the week. We had Devin Booker under 5.5 rebounds versus Atlanta. No sweat at all, not even a little bit. We could have had Devin Booker under 0.5 rebounds, and it still would have cashed for us. That's right. You guys heard me correctly. He finished with 0. An absolute goose egg for the rebound category. Then we had Scotty Barnes over 13.5 points versus my Chicago Bulls. Like I always say, I love betting against my Chicago Bulls for player props and stuff like that, because it always seems to work out for us. So I will keep going to the well on that one. And then our one loss of the day was Heat and Spurs over 218 minus 110 odds. Spurs couldn't throw it into the freaking ocean tonight, so there's nothing you can do. They just had a really tough shooting night. They started to make a little bit of a comeback, but it just wasn't enough. They were down by like 20 for most of the game, so not really too much you can do there. But I'm really excited to hop into today's slate. First things first, I did want to say we are on the road to 3,000 subscribers, so if you guys are new, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. We are less than 300 subscribers away. We will be doing a parlay giveaway, and we will be introducing some new features to the channel once we hit 3,000 subscribers. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Our first play of the day is going to be the Charlotte Hornets minus 4.5 versus the Cleveland Cavaliers minus 110 odds. Normally, we wouldn't be betting on Cleveland, but they have been really rough without Darius Garland. Cleveland in their last 7 games is just 1-6 against the spread. Definitely not a number to kind of tip your hat on. Charlotte, they haven't really been tremendous in their last 10. They are just 5-5 against the spread in their last 10, but it's at home where this team truly thrives. They are 15-7 against the spread at home this year, and Charlotte against the Eastern Conference has been really, really solid. They actually are 21-10 against the spread in conference play this year. So really, really solid. I think that we do see an edge on that one. And if we look at the injury report, Kelly Oubre is back, who is going to add a ton of scoring to this roster. He was one of the reasons why when we bet them the other night for their game to go over, with him being ruled out, it was just kind of a tough play. Oubre is definitely a spark plug for this team. And then Gordon Hayward looks like he's questionable, so we could see him back, which I think is just going to help our case even more. Lauri Markkanen and Darius Garland, they're still listed as out for right now, so I do think that we see a huge advantage for Charlotte on this one. Our second play of the day is going to be plus value play. It's going to be Anthony Simons under 4.5 assists versus OKC plus 125 odds. I know that this bet seems risky, but just hear me out. So Anthony Simons has gone under this line in 2 straight, including 1 game versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. But let's really truly dive into this. So CJ McCollum has kind of been back into the lineup recently, and so Anthony Simons has kind of gotten much less of a workload. If you look at Anthony Simons' usage rates, in the month of January, his usage rate was 25.4%, which is pretty a little bit above average for a point guard. And when it comes to February, it has dropped down to 22.2%. So a whole 3% less of the time that he doesn't have the ball in his hands. He's been scoring a lot more, so if you guys wanted to take his over in points, definitely go for it. But I just think CJ is starting to get the ball more. He's really starting to run the offense. He's kind of starting to take over. So I think Simons is more of a scorer now. I think he's kind of transitioning back into that. And versus OKC, in his entire career, if you want to fact check me, go for it. But in his entire career, Anthony Simons has not had more than 2 assists versus the Oklahoma City Thunder in his entire career. So I do think we see a bit of an edge there. And OKC in their last 3 have been playing really solid defense, actually. They've been giving up the 3rd fewest points per game in their last 3 games. So I definitely think we see an advantage there. In Portland, they also play at the 3rd slowest team, or they are the 3rd slowest team according to pace in the entire NBA. So The fact that they play slow, the fact that OKC is playing better defense, the fact that he hasn't had more than 2 assists against OKC in his career, the fact that his usage rate's down because of CJ McCollum being back. All of these are kind of screaming that the under is a very solid play. Now, could he go out there and get 5 or 6 assists in the first half? Absolutely. But I just don't think he's going to be doing it today. So that's our second play of the day. Anthony Simons, under 4.5 assists versus OKC Thunder, plus 125 odds. Our third play of the day is going to be Tobias Harris versus the Dallas Mavericks, under 18.5 points, minus 115 odds. This line, it seems like it's a little bit low if you look at his recent game log, but I truly do think that it is a little bit low for a good reason. If you look at it, Dallas, they do allow the 3rd fewest points per game in their... Yeah, they do allow the... excuse me, sorry, my notes were a little bit jumbled. So, they do allow the 3rd fewest points per game in the entire NBA, so just the 3rd best defense overall. And when it comes to the power forward position, they're even better. They allow the 2nd fewest points per game to opposing power forwards in the entire NBA. And Tobias Harris in his last 2 hasn't really been able to get, or in his last 4 games hasn't really been able to get it going. He's gone under in 2 straight, and he's gone under in 3 of his last 4 versus Dallas. So I definitely think that we see an edge there. The only time that he did hit the over was when Joel Embiid was out. So Joel Embiid was out, so somebody had to do the scoring, and that was Tobias Harris. But it looks like Joel Embiid is going to be in for this game. So I do think that Tobias Harris is going to kind of go back to his, traditional role. And when it comes to Dallas, they do allow the 9th most points per game to opposing centers. They don't really have too much of an inside game. So I think Joel Embiid is going to be feasting on them. So if you wanted to take Joel Embiid over points, you definitely could. I just kind of stayed away from it. So that's our third play of the day. Tobias Harris, under 18.5 points versus the Dallas Mavericks, minus 115 odds. And then our fourth and final play of the day is going to be the San Antonio Spurs, minus 3.5 versus the Houston Rockets, minus 110 odds. If you look at it, the Spurs, they don't really seem like they have been a great team. They are just 3-5 against the spread in their last 8 games. But let's truly dive into it. They have played some really, really solid teams, some of the best teams in the entire NBA. So it does make sense why they haven't been able to cash. You look at their last 8, it's been against Miami, Golden State, Phoenix, Chicago, Memphis, Houston, which they did end up winning by 30, won by 30, and then Philadelphia and Brooklyn. So they have played 7 extremely solid teams, and the one team that they did end up whooping up on was the Houston Rockets, and that's who they're going up against again today. So I do think this is a good bounce-back game after losing against Golden State and Miami. I think they're going to be looking to bounce back today. Houston. Oh, and on top of that, DeJounte Murray, I personally think he probably got snubbed from the All-Star game, so I do think he's going to have a huge night too. So I love all DeJounte Murray props. Houston, in their last 4 games, haven't really been the best either. They are just 1-3 against the spread. And San Antonio has been tremendous at home this year, especially as a home favorite. They are 8-4 against the spread as a home favorite this year, so cashing this 67% of the time. So I like my odds there for sure. And when it comes to the conference play, San Antonio has been really solid as well. They are 10-7 against the spread in conference games. The Houston Rockets, on the other hand, as an underdog, anytime that they are supposed to lose, a lot of times they do. They are just 19-26-1 as a underdog. So those are our 4 plays. The fourth play, Spurs minus 3.5 versus the Rockets minus 110 odds. So that is going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. We are on the road to 3,000 subscribers, so hopefully we can go ahead and hit that by Valentine's Day. That's the goal. Like I said, we will be doing a parlay giveaway. Already checked with Austin from Calling Our Shot. He loves the idea, so we will be continuing on with that. So yeah, just if you guys are new, like, comment, subscribe. But for now, this is King Stern signing out. Peace.